I don't even know what he said. Hey, everybody, what's going on? My name is Chris. This is Sean. Welcome to a double feature. That's what they call like movie. You get two movies in one day, a double feature. We are doing and continuing our free webinar series with SoundUp Now.
That's right. It's a free webinar.
for our webinar series for SoundUp Now. I think this is our fourth installment, and fourth. It's not our final installment. So anyway, this is our fourth installment in our webinar series. So this is a fun one, though. We're actually, since we just launched the new dashboard, we are walking through the whole setup process for an Alexa Flash briefing skill through SoundUp. So that's Sean's with me here. We're going to do screen share. You're going to be able to see the screen and be able to see how we walk through. But before we get to that, traditionally, if you're watching in the group, if you're part of our member community, you know we do a show called Happy Hour on Fridays that most of you guys don't get to see, honestly, because you're not members yet, and that's just how we roll. But you should be members, and then you can watch our Friday show that we stream in our private community group for SoundUp every Friday afternoon. And we usually have some brew, kind of review some brew. Sometimes we go on location. Sometimes we do a couple things like that. But because we're doing a webinar and we're trying to stay focused and we're trying to keep our energy up and really hit this thing hard, we have two different beverages. Don't do that. Two different beverages that actually Sean's the one who introduced these to me. I had never seen these before until you brought these into the office.
One of us might have a heart attack live on air.
Really? Is that what these... Okay. Anyway, apparently there's a new craze. Maybe it's new. It's new to me. How about that?
Energy drinks have been around, but
energy drinks,
these are
Red Bulls, and that kind of stuff.
More of a natural energy than it's not loaded with a bunch of sugar.
Okay, but this one's called Bang, and it has super creatine in it. Not regular creatine, super creatine, ultra CoQ10, and BCAA amino acid complex. This says the same thing. BCAAs,
no creatine though.
Q10, but no creatine. Just electrolytes, which I think you can get from water or Gatorade.
From my past studying I've done of these, that one actually can make you feel kind of bloated because it's creatine.
Bang.
Creatine can just make you hold extra water, basically.
Okay.
Makes you look fluffy.
So this one's called Rain, and we have two different flavors. So we're going to taste test. I just kind of want to know which one tastes better because I think these energy drinks, these like specialty drinks like this, Red Bulls and the Mountain Dew energy drinks, and what else is it? Monster.
That's going to throw you off. It's clear.
Oh my gosh, that is weird. Okay, so we're going to try Rain first. It's Melon Mania. I don't know why I said that. Melon Mania.
They were going to put tequila in it.
I do have some in the fridge. Melon.
It tastes like cherry Sprite.
I was going to say watermelon Sprite. I mean, I actually taste watermelon in it. Like what? No. Let me hit you up. Bubble Yum.
Don't hit me.
Bubble Yum used to have watermelon gum
in
a square that had a color green and pink in it. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
With Sprite.
Interesting.
Okay, so what is coenzyme Q10, Mr. Fitness?
CoQ10 is for heart health.
Didn't you just tell us going to have a heart attack?
Well, it depends on your caffeine. So this is 2 servings per container.
You're going to spill it.
And it has a total of 300 milligrams of caffeine, 150 per serving. I want to say the
average cup of coffee.
The grande iced coffee at Starbucks, for example, is around 165 grams. So it's actually less caffeine than 2 grande iced coffees at Starbucks.
So grande is 2 shots of espressos usually, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. I actually don't know.
I think so.
But anyway, so that's where you get.
I actually don't mind the taste of that. Like I could probably taste that. It's very.
Some of these non-sugary ones have a really weird taste, but they actually
are they all clear?
And they don't use aspartame. Is the other thing too. What is it they use? I cannot remember.
Are they all clear, color-wise?
Looks like it.
So we're gonna go over to the Bang. That has the creatine in it.
I think this is a Rammstein. How do you say that?
I don't know. It's called Sourheads. What do you mean Rammstein?
They have a song that goes bang bang. Just made me think of it. It's
I don't like the nose. I don't like the nose as well as the melon.
I was like, I don't like your nose.
No,
This
I like it.
definitely it's going to be like appletini.
It's the only show I bet that we try it like we describe it like wine and we're drinking sports energy drinks.
I've had this one's. I've had the sour
That
apple.
is sour.
I've had the sour apple of this one, and it tastes like sour apple. This does not. This tastes like one of those candies with like the sour sugar stuff on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost like you know how you can get those sour gel packs candies that like have the sour gel inside of it. I forget what
Gushers?
they're called. No, not Gushers. That's like a fruit snack. This is more candy-ish. I think it's definitely like because it has that like that sweet sour on the front. There's like you just squeeze like the sour into your mouth. They come in, I've seen them at the grocery store. My daughter's got them before, but that's what it tastes like to me. Only fizzy.
Interesting.
I don't like the taste as much. And then these are two different flavors, so we're not really apples
also,
to apples.
I wonder if it's because we had that one and it tastes a little bit sweeter. So maybe we need to adjust to this one. Do a swish. I want to see if he'd spit out his drink. It was close.
No.
Let's not start off like that.
It is getting that sour, like kind of sour. If you eat a couple Sour Patch Kids and you feel it on the side of your tongue, getting sour like that.
Like that.
That just
pinch.
pucker.
That face pinch. Have you ever had it where your cheeks
I still like this. So let's real quick on the calorie count before we get into the webinar. I'm just kind of looking 0 calories, 0 calories, 0 fat, 0 fat. Sodium is always something I look at. This has 100 milligrams of sodium. This only has 40. That's like the salt. Like I lean towards. I don't like high sodium.
But you know what's funny,
consumption.
though? Sodium will also hold water weight. They added creatine. Does the creatine have its own sodium possible?
That they wouldn't count in the nutrition facts.
Right. Well, think about it. That's weird, though.
This has less B, but this has less B12. This has more B vitamins in it, more B complex.
I'd be curious about actual amino acids in their sodium levels.
0 sugar, 0 protein. If they could infuse this with protein, that
Actually,
would be like a.
so they just came out with another one. They have one that's is a Java. It's like a coffee flavored, and then this is actually Monster, by the way.
Produced by Monster
Yes.
Company. Okay.
Bang was first. They were only in health food type stores.
Which Monster's owned by Coca-Cola, aren't they?
Maybe, I don't know. So the Bang was in health stores like Vitamin Shop and stuff like that first, and they were a little more expensive. And then they got a deal nationwide, gas stations, and then they're actually, I think, in a lawsuit right now because they say Monster just ripped them off and they're trying to kill them. And I've been seeing these more, which is kind of sad because those are like the little guys. And it seems like their ingredients may be better.
I was going to say, I think that there are some benefits to the Bang versus the Rain.
But, you know, I wish we
Maybe
would have
because their
had...
names kind of rhyme.
I wish we would have had the flavors of each that were the same to maybe match.
I didn't
but
see. That was my fault. I didn't see them.
The Bang have way more flavors. They have they have at least 20 flavors.
Oh, okay.
So not all these ones here don't have, but down in Myrtle Beach is one.
Cool.
But anyway, they have a protein one.
Okay.
So it is a protein.
So you can actually get a protein infused. So I think that would be a big thing. So anyway, I know all of you that tuned in and just spent the last 5 minutes listening to us talk about
Energy drinks?
Energy drinks. Anyway, happy hour gets a little bit more fun because we do alcohol actually on the show as well. But we want to do some energy drinks. So if you're into that scene, you're welcome. We just kind of reviewed, and I think I'm going to lean towards Bang over Rain, even though the flavor, but the ingredients of Bang kind of pushed me towards it now that I'm looking at the nutrition facts. But I
You
like
don't
the
like
flavor
creatine,
of
though, do you?
Rain.
You're not a creatine person.
I'm not a huge creatine person, no. But I love BCAAs, and CoQ10's fun too.
I'm going to check and make sure there's
Odd
no
ways to describe those things, but
no comment.
Okay.
Comments real quick.
all right. But we're going to get into the webinar, and as Sean's checking that, just to make sure, we are going to move into really trying to walk through the Alexa Flash Briefing setup process. So, if you are not a member of SoundUp and you are interested in flash briefings, obviously we're a company that does this, but there's other companies out there that as well can help you get into the Alexa Flash Briefing space or the Alexa Custom Skills space. We're not saying we're better, but we're going to show you our process of getting set up with Alexa Flash Briefings because we just launched a new dashboard that we think is relatively simple and can guide you through it. And even if you don't become a member with SoundUp, we think this might give you at least some insight and some knowledge into. I think we're going to go over a little bit. Will help define some of these things because there's still confusion out there between Alexa Custom Skills, Alexa Flash Briefing Skills. I even had somebody contact me the other day about, there are apps that you can get on certain Alexa devices that are not skills at all, as well. So hopefully this will kind of clear up, at least in the flash briefing space, exactly what a flash briefing is, and kind of how we get it set up and get you heard on Alexa enabled devices. How close are we? Do I need to keep ranting?
Rant for one more second as I...
Anyway, okay, so as Sean's getting that kind of set up, got in one, awesome. Alexa flash briefings, I'm going to give a short definition because I think this gets confusing. Alexa flash briefing is a skill on Alexa. There are other kinds of skills. Alexa flash briefings are a type of skill. In fact, they kind of are given their own category in Amazon, in the Amazon skill store. Which, congratulations, I just got an email the other day that Amazon skill, there's over 100,000 Amazon skills in the skill store now. Maybe we definitely helped account for some of those. A decent percentage.
I would like to think so.
I like so.
At least the first million.
I mean, that's why Bezos emailed me about it. Anyway, so an Alexa flash briefing skill is short form audio content. That's the best way I describe it. Short form audio content, meaning it's not as long as like your podcast or long form audio. It's meant to be quick. It's flash. It's more news briefs, news tips, tips and tricks. Short segments, 3 to 5 minute range. If that, we have a lot of people that do 1 minute, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and it's meant to be short form audio content that only goes one way. So basically, once the user says, play my flash briefings, or play a specific flash briefing, or play a group of flash briefings that the person has enabled, just like when you go and subscribe to podcasts and you open your podcast player and you have multiple podcasts you subscribe to. Same way with Amazon Alexa, you're going to enable multiple flash briefings or pick and choose what flash briefings you want to hear. And when you say to your device, play, it's going to just play through them. You don't interact with them. You don't, ask it questions in the middle of a flash briefing. It has one function, and that's the playback audio that the owner of the flash briefing skill has uploaded to their flash briefing either daily or weekly.
Okay, well,
simplest
I'm ready,
definition. Now are you ready?
Yep.
Woo.
So I'm already
riffing's going.
I'm already sharing the screen here. So say you've just signed up for SoundUp, and now you go to the soundupnow.com/dashboard. The first thing,
because now you know what a flash briefing is, and you want to make one.
Absolutely. One of the first things you have to do is go to the developer.amazon.com and create your developer account. This has to be done, so make sure you do it. It's in the instructions, and it's in this video. But this is where you go and create your account. Once your account is created, we can go ahead and start making our flash briefing. So we have a fake account.
Can you get one more? Go back to the Amazon developer account. So developer.amazon.com. Like, you have to go there. You have to get set up.
The link is in
first.
the email, the first email you receive from us. The link is
from
also,
us. But if they're just looking, if they're wanting to know,
it'll be in the description next to this video and all those kind of things. So, anyway, we're gonna jump in here and we're gonna log in. One thing I recommend is checking this giant box. We made it bigger so everyone can see it. To remember your information. This way, whenever you go to this web address, at least for 30 days, for security reasons, it will remember your information. So we're going to go ahead and log in, and you're going to be taken to the dashboard. This pop-up here is something that will change with information just to kind of help you get acquainted with things. So when you're on the dashboard, some things I want you to look out for is this is new, and this is something we are currently in the process of updating for every page, is we have a page help. It's going to always be here at the top, and it's going to have information pertaining to the specific page that you're on. So this could be, like this video, for example, will be there on the multiple pages, actually, depending on what you're doing and stuff. The little green dot down here, if you need some help, this goes straight to us. You can shoot us a message, and we can help you out. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want us to do is we're going to work on our station. Okay, your station is going to be the hub area for your show, basically.
So before you jump into skill, we're going to go to my stations first.
Right. So you have a flash briefing, and we're going to call this free webinar. It's going to be the name of our flash briefing. So what we need to do is click on Edit Station, because right now it's Webinar 919. Well, that's not going to be the name of it. So we're just going to do Free Webinar and get rid of that. because that's just the date. You don't have to put the description or anything like that right now. We recommend putting this in here if you want to submit this to iTunes. It'll help. But you can upload an image if you want to and put some other information. This is a separate video we'll do, though. So we're going to make sure we have our name, and we're going to go down here and hit save. And now you can see here. And this is where, we can create another one if we want to. Otherwise, that's there. So now we have this set up here.
So, can I ask a question, Sean? So we suggest that, because you're creating a station, I understand, like, you might not know, like, Alexa flash briefing, what's a station? What's that have to do with anything? A station is going to hold all the audio that you're going to use for that flash briefing skill. It's going to, on SoundUp's end, we call them stations. It holds all your audio related to that flash briefing skill that you're setting up. So they need to match. The name needs to match, right?
Yes.
Like, what you name your station is what the name of your flash briefing is going to be. So don't just be arbitrary with, it's a station and I'll call it test. No, whatever your flash briefing skill is, that's the name of your station.
Right. So as you can see down here at the bottom, it says no episodes to display. Before we can submit this to Amazon, we do have to have an episode. So we're going to go ahead and create a test episode, maybe, because I don't know if we're doing the webinar, if it'll actually let us. So let's give this a shot. And we're just going to click Add New Episode.
Are you trying to use our recorder?
I'm going to, yes.
Okay.
You can hit Add New Episode here. But if you don't have to go, my station's going to do all these steps. You can just go over to Upload Episode on the left. But we're going to use the studio. Let's see if it works while we're doing this. And we are going to say, this is the first episode, so we're going to say, we're going to call this Episode 1. And that's just, the name.
And it's got to be a real episode. Amazon will reject if you try to do a test or something. And you upload your first episode that says, "Hi, I'm Bob and I like ducks." Amazon will reject that. They have AI that will detect that.
They won't like that. So we're going to hit record and see if it lets us record something. And it is. So we are going to say, welcome to
The webinar.
the free webinar. This week's
Episode is about plastics.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I hit stop and then I hit remove. Welcome to the free webinar. Today's tip is make your webinars free. We'll see you back tomorrow. That was a horrible example of a first episode, but we're just going to go with it for now.
You want to make a good one.
Yeah. So this is a studio. This is a whole separate video. We can add music or whatever. We're not going to do that right now. The publish date, because we're going to make this today. We're going to make today the publish date, the 27th. That's when we're doing this. Optional section. Well, funny thing, this is a new rule by Amazon. The first episode, you need to make sure you have a link here. So we're just going to put soundupnow.com. And this is just for when people click read more.
We need to take out optional.
Well, it's only it is optional, but not the first time. Thank you, Amazon, for that.
Thanks, Amazon.
We'll get it. You do not need an episode image unless you want this episode to specifically have an image on the widget that you can put on your website. Different video.
Different video, different feature. We're just talking about...
All we need for this first episode, is a name, which station it's attached to, the actual audio, the date, and a website. Click Save. And hopefully it works while we're doing a webinar. So what our studio is doing is it's exporting and then uploading itself to here because it's a full-blown multi-track studio. So it can take a little bit longer than just uploading a file. If you upload a file, generally it's going to go much quicker because you've already exported that from your other music program.
At some point, we'll do a webinar where we're talking about all the different features that SoundUp Now has to offer. We just want to make sure you get.
We should play music while this goes.
I was trying to talk. You interrupted. We're trying to go over the basic setup process from step one, like you just signed up, or you're just thinking about getting the flash briefing and just showing you the process through. And there it is.
There it is. We can listen to it, except that it won't play back here right now.
That's all right. Episode 1.
Yep. And so now we're going to go create the actual skill under the Alexa skills. All right. So see, we have to log into that developer account we created. So simply click this. Make sure you don't have a pop-up blocker on here.
And make sure you have a developer account. Again, not your personal Amazon account. It is not your personal
We now
Amazon
have an error message that'll be displayed if you do that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. So as you can see, this is the fake account that I made here. And if you're seeing the stuttering on things like this is my computer not being happy with me. Okay. Sign in. Hopefully I got the password right. I believe I did.
It's thinking about it.
No, this is my computer thinking.
I know.
All right, your Amazon profile accounting. Now there is a chance too, because I did previously test this, that it could ask you to approve. Amazon will say, "Are you sure you want to let SoundUp have access? Please click yes on that." It doesn't always do that. It depends on Amazon security or if you're on like a different IP address or whatever. So now you can see we have options here, but today we're going to create our flash briefing skill. So
Notice that they're different, like we talked about at the beginning.
custom skill is not a flash briefing. That's an entirely different thing, an entirely different video, an entirely different path. Both voice related, and your phone ringer is still on, Sean. Turning that off. So we're going to hit create new skill. We need balloons.
I don't know. If
Okay. All right. So our first thing to do is select the language. This is English US, and it is important to make sure you choose English US if you're in the US. Amazon looks at that. And we call this webinar. Nope, I lied to you. We called it free webinar. That was the name.
Remember, it matches your station.
This is a flash briefing about free webinars. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this and paste it into the long description. Amazon wants the first sentence of both of these to match. I do not know why. That's Amazon's rule. So we're going to make sure that matches.
And you don't have to write more, but you can.
I'm getting my point across pretty well here. All right, so now we need to have a small icon image, which is a 108 by 108 PNG recommended.
I noticed you're hovering over the little question mark.
Yeah, so these little green question marks, they answer questions. Look at that.
Novel.
Just hover over it. So you can see it says a 108 by 108. So I'm going to go ahead and find that icon that I already had pre-made for this because that's what I do. I do smart things. Let's go.
Seems like you should have only had one folder for it.
I did.
There's Sean.
Live TV.
Ah. Nice. Icons are very important. Make sure you have the right sizes. Amazon will automatically reject them, and you can't skip over this part. You have to have a small and a large icon for your flash briefing skill.
Yeah. You can click choose file. I'm just going to drag this over the choose file right there, and then I'm going to do the next one is a 512 by 512, and so I'm just going to drag that one over right there, and then hit next. Oh, all right. I did not do this, which is I need to select audio. So we're on the second part here. And so you need to make sure your feed is correct. We're having this as free webinar. Content type is audio.
Speak on feed real quick. Just so that they know that when they see the word feed, that's also, it's coming from your station. So that drop down is going to show different stations that you have.
The content is going to be, these are Amazon's
Choice.
genres. Okay, so is it business? Yeah, you know what, business.
At this point, it might be entertainment.
Update frequency. I'm going to upload daily episodes, but I'm going to select weekly because I want to make. I'm not going to do weekend episodes, so I'm going to do a weekend edition. So on Friday, that one's going to stay on. I made a good graph about this and a whole blog post about weekly, daily, and all that. We'll link that in the description. But when you select weekly, that means if I upload a file on Monday, that file is going to stay live until next Monday or until I upload something else. So I'm going to upload Monday, Tuesday, and it's going to update the Tuesday on Tuesday.